Convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. After the big play, a chance to finish now on first and goal.
Detroit!
Here's a run with Mixon. And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a second and goal. Another shot from the 1 on second and goal. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back to Denver right after this. Another shot from the 1 on second and goal.
Let's go! 319!
They get it to him running left. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. Gano out to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Being chased out left. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long.
Watch you now, Barney! Hot!
He'll look to throw. Flush to his right. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Well, it's looking like another 3 and out here, and at some point, got to be able to put together a drive to keep your defense from having to go right back out on the field. I feel like things are starting to unravel a little bit, and we're not even at halftime.
Fielded at about the 28. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start here with a give to Mixon. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
Well, how many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice gain.
No, check! Patriot! Hurry up, here we go! Blue 90!
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to go for a big play downfield and nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a second and 10.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56. Set.
Back to throw. Steps away to his left. Out to the left, it's complete to Dykson. A good pickup there, a 22. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of...
And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Buying time to his left. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
And now they're looking for 19 yards here on third down following 2 negative plays.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney. Detroit. Detroit. Gun, gun. Gun, gun.
He'll drop to throw. That's into the hands of Westbrook over the middle. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll throw now on the final play. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we are at halftime here on a Monday night. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here they come, the road team now getting the football first to start this third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time, because let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Jabal Sheard in there to drop him the 7th time tonight. He's gone down. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And taken right on the 30. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Broncos take over. First down and 10. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And his throw is incomplete. Brandon Cooks, the receiver he was going after. And it's second down. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide-open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. This is Coleman. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Flushed out right. Going underneath, it's Coleman. 4 yards on the pickup, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
They'll look to throw here. It's complete. Swings it out to his running back. And he's not even going to come close. A big loss in the wrong direction on 4th down. Well, they were looking for a clutch play there on 4th, unable to come up with it.
How about that defense, though, huh? How about that D?
Yeah, momentum swing.
And, I remember playing how much 4th downs were emphasized. Because, as you said, it's a momentum play. It's also a big test for you. If people are going to go for it on 4th down, they believe you're not up to the challenge. You want to show them differently.
And he'll find Lastly there. It's complete. A good pickup there at 22. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And his pass incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. The offense on 3rd down tonight, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 10. Looking to throw. And the Broncos get there and take him down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And Gano's kick is right through. And that'll push the lead up to 17. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. This one taken from the 7. And he gets it to the 30-yard line, but the football's not going to stay there. There's a penalty marker down. So that will push him back.
And now we know why I have a little extra space to run, don't we? An illegal block in the back, that penalty will move them back.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Back to throw now on 1st down. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable second and short.
Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on second and a couple. He'll look to throw. Now he's going to throw it back deep. It got his man complete. Past the 20, 10, and all the way home for a Broncos score. A big play there. His fourth touchdown on the year. And the Broncos get a bit closer. Well, they went play action there and set it up nicely for him. I mean, he can flat fly, and they hit him downfield.
And it doesn't take much to create that extra bit of space that a guy of his speed needs. If you go play action, all you want is just a moment where the guy's covering, take their attention somewhere else, and then he's by him. And once he's by him, there's no catching him. As they always like to say, if a receiver's even to a defensive back, that means he's leaving.
Unless that DB is Charles Davis, right?
In that case, he left me a long time ago.
Come on now.
Trust me.
They go for just one here as it's up and good. And the lead down to 10, 24-14. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. The third quarter has not been kind to them. After they built that lead at intermission, they've seen that lead shrink.
And how much of that is simply execution? How much of that is maybe you lose your edge a little bit because you've got a lead? And you do have to credit the other team some because they've made some adjustments to start to slow them down. Can they find those counters now, those extra plays or plays they haven't run that'll be effective and get them back moving again?
They'll be looking for something here, anything to seize that momentum back. They'll set up a throw. He's going to wind up in it. He's got a man complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And that one results in 35 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Detroit!
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And it's a big turnover there on the final play. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. So they jumped on the left side of that line.
And you know when you're at the end spot, you are like in the starting blocks, waiting for the pistol to fire and go, and he jumped a little bit too early.
So this helps to start a drive. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 5.
Detroit! Set!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. They'll drop to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
They'll look to throw, and his throw here's incomplete.
think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. The Broncos on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and a mile. Hard throw, incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Being chased out left. Now he's going to let it go. This is taken in. It's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. He's going to let this go deep. Back over. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A gain of 39 that time. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
Set! 3-19! 3-19!
They're going to look to throw, and they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
The Broncos on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Lucky 56.
Now back to throw. And that is, I think he caught it. He did, but they'll say out of bounds. It'll be incomplete. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it. Brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And Lambo will put this one through. And this is back down to a 7-point game. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first down, and the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Detroit! Detroit! Gone!
Back to throw here. A throw left side, complete to his receiver, Westbrook. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a 1st down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Mixon with a 1st down carry. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Back to Mixon on first down. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8.
Here we go now. 3-19.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Steps away to his left. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. And give him a gain of 37. It's 1st and goal and a late touchdown at this stage. Could officially salt this one away. He'll look to throw. Buying time to his left. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And he will bring this all the way up to the 30-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
All right, here we go.
They'll look to throw. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. And it's a tremendous return as they finally get him at about the 10-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it. Incomplete. They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And now the Broncos will burn another timeout here as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Here's Mixon. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. So barring something extraordinary here in the closing stages, that field goal should just about put this one on ice.
Yeah, they've got to find 2 scores. So, we're not going to exactly move it over there yet. It can be done, but, boy, it's going to be a little bit of a stretch for them, isn't it?
Yeah, they would have to move incredibly quick and have some luck, too. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
They got his man complete. And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. Lambo on for the extra point. Extra point tacked on by Lambo. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So with just under 40 seconds to go, you figure this is going to need to bounce their way if they have any shot. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now this one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
No. Check. Patriot. Hurry up. Here we go.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Looking long. This is caught inside the 15. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A big gain there, and that should certainly be enough to put this one in the win column. It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. They'll give it to Mixon. And he's able to find some room as they get him down after a good run. It's a good pickup of 7 yards, and now they're looking at 2nd and goal. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football.
And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Teron Johnson able to pick it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, partner, still a head-scratcher to me how this one ended, down 3. I just thought, no matter the situation, you're in a spot where you can kick that field goal and go to overtime. Why not do it?
And this is where I think the analytics guys are going to continue to get more and more traction in the league. We've talked about different people